Hello, everybody. I'm George from Ireland. Well, thank you for coming back to my channel. So this is commenting on the Portuguese presidential election, and they had the first round just the other day. Okay, so it looks like Seguro is almost seguro to be president of the Portuguese Republic. Let me explain the two-round system. Like Romania, like Russia, like France, possibly other countries, if nobody gets over 50% in the first round, then there's a second round. The top two candidates go through and the lower candidates are eliminated. Of course, if someone polls over 50% in the first round, he or she is elected instantly. But anyway, this is the first time since 1986 it's gone to a second round. Okay, because Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, he is having to retire because the constitution limits someone to 2 terms. Okay, so he is the one who's supported by the PSD. It's a 5-year term, a Partido Social Democrático. Okay. Anyway, so they're mostly been socialists in it. But anyway, so looks like Antonio Jose Seguro is going to win. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, like Partido Socialista, which is another moderate left party. Was founded in 1973, not a moderate left party at all, when it was still an ultra-conservative dictatorship, because Portugal was probably the poorest country in Western Europe. And a lot of Portuguese went abroad to wealthier European countries to seek work, to France, to Germany, the United Kingdom, and actually Luxembourg. Luxembourg proportionally is the most Portuguese place outside Portugal. Anyway, and obviously the Carnations Revolution, April 1974, to do with these African wars, and then they were allowed back, and then the far left dominated Portuguese politics for a time, didn't actually make it a communist state. But the runner-up is Andre Ventura of Chega, as in, does it mean call, something like that? Okay, so that's a sort of an insurgent right-wing party. Some people call it far left. Who they want to sort of really limit immigration and so on. There's a lot been emigration out of Portugal, so some people are saying it's a little bit hypocritical. Anyway, so that's why the PS candidate had a small lead over the Chega candidate, 31% over 23%. Well, it's not that small, really. And importantly, the PS candidate, Antonio Jose Seguro, he won almost every county, even if not by a wide margin. But he's going to a second round. So Ventura won in some of the more rural counties, particularly in the north, not so much on the coast, except interestingly a bit of the Algarve. All right, and and then curiously, Seguro, where he's strongest, was somewhere on the Spanish border, a still fairly rural county. Where it's quite close, perhaps strangely, is the coast, particularly the northern areas of the coast. Anyway, so it's a 5-year term that they're going for, and there were obviously several lower-ranked candidates who was eliminated. The socialist alternative movement, he was knocked out, and then Jorge Pinto of Livre, he has been eliminated as well. Okay, so it's an ecological left-wing party, and so on. Then an independent Jose João Vieira, who always stands a bit of a joker, he's been knocked out. Catarina Martins of the left bloc, she has been eliminated as well. And João Coutrinho de Figueiredo, who's from the Liberal Initiative, which was one of the major parties, and he's a member of the European Parliament. He's been knocked out, and other independents like Humberto Correa. Luis Marques Mendes, he has been knocked out as well. So even though he's a cabinet minister, maybe he's too much of an old-timer. Ventura's name meaning wind, the other guy, his name meaning sure, but he's almost sure of winning. Antonio Felipe, and so on. There's a People's Monarchist Party. The monarchy was abolished like 108 years ago, so they want to bring that one. So he's seen as ultra-conservative, a bit of a loony. All right, so that's it. Antonio Guterres, the currently Secretary General of the United Nations, he was an obvious candidate. And remember, he was Prime Minister of Portugal some time ago. He came first in the whole of Portugal in his school leaving exams, but he doesn't want to come back. So Ventura saying, os portugueses primero, as in the Portuguese first, whereas Antonio Jose Seguro uses the sort of how to put it, the pun, futuro seguro, as in a safe future, but also that's his surname, and so on. Okay, so they had their candidates debates, and that's why anyway, so some surprises who did well, who didn't. Some people have then, they're basically all the ones to be knocked out, if they're given us an endorsement at all, is to Seguro. Some of the other right-wing candidates have not said that they endorse anybody else. Okay, so it's very likely that Seguro is going to win. But the thing is, the other quite fairly major candidates haven't endorsed anyone. So we shall see. Another couple of weeks till that. So turnout was quite low, 52%. You might say that's actually a reassuring sign. Some level of apathy is a good thing. I mean, people are content. When ordinary apolitical people suddenly become very politicized, it's usually a time of crisis. Hyperinflation, mass unemployment, a great outbreak of terrorism, a crime wave, a war, some terrible suffering, huge scandals. So the infrastructure just collapsing. That's probably a good thing. So anyway, I would think it'd be a safe bet to bet on Seguro. What do you think? Portugal, a country I've only been to once, but really want to revisit. All right. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you subscribe on Patreon. Donate PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com. Another thing I noticed, out of about a dozen candidates, only one was a woman. A little bit surprising these days. And they're all white Portuguese, because there's a lot of ethnic minority Portuguese people now. Toodaloo.